Hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. We got a special episode today. Our other host will explain it.
Why do I have to explain it? Why was I put in charge of that?
Because you weren't ready for it, so that's why.
Okay, well, my name's Chaotic. We are 2 seconds into this podcast and I quit. But Silver, for the rest of this podcast, while I quit, is going to be introducing you guys to all of our Patreons, and telling everybody the favorite. I don't know what the heck are they? What are they? What are they called? Sasquatch stories, Bigfoot stories, stories of giant, hairy, ape-like men. So enjoy yourselves while I quit. Goodbye.
Easy.
Oh, okay. Let's start under Chaotic then, introducing who we got as our patrons, which you guys hear usually at the end of the episode, but they are joining us here today for this special guest episode. You've probably heard him before. Back again we got...
Oh, sorry. It's Ruby.
No, he does this to everybody. Don't let him make you feel bad about it, because he will just throw you under the bus.
And above me.
Yep, Mondi's here. What's up?
So we got Ruby and Mondi back from the Mothman and Anubis episodes.
Yeah, Mothman.
Then some voices you probably haven't heard yet. Well, you've heard them once before, back in the Goblin episode a little bit.
It's Nuggets. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Nuggies. Ooh.
And lastly, our fourth guest.
Hi, I'm new here.
Hi, Dave. I'm Dad.
Hi, I'm Dan. You can call me Super Mage.
Super Mage.
Super Mage.
Just a disclaimer, this is going to be a very stressful episode. There's going to be a lot of talking. There's going to be a lot of different voices. Everybody enjoy yourselves and enjoy the ride. Happy 1 year to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yay, made it around the world once.
Insert champagne popping sound.
Now I gotta try and find it.
Ooh, I got you.
What are you drinking?
This is peach moonshine and lemonade.
That sounds really good. It looked like my whiskey sours, so that's what I thought maybe it might have been.
Mhm.
But
Yes. Very close. That's my wife's favorite drink, so we always have like lemonade and Sprite and stuff on hand. So
ooh, yeah.
Mondi's
It's
trying
weird
something.
hearing wife.
I got the cork popping noise.
that's not. Oh my god!
I don't
You-
know that was it.
Just
Oh, it hasn't happened yet.
That ain't it, Chief.
I really
Does
just
your
wanna-
landlord know what you're doing?
It would have been better if he broke his leg.
I don't even know why I ducked, but I was scared for my life on this side of the screen.
I wish you guys could see what's going on right now.
Oh, they will. I make
The
TikToks now.
listeners,
I really want to.
let's go back on the track.
10 seconds in and the episode's already chaos. So,
Well, what are we talking about again?
Would you have it any other way?
Well, we definitely
The,
moved into the mayhem.
yep. Today's episode is going to be about Sasquatches, Bigfoots, the hairy wild men of the forest and the woods. What do you guys all know about Sasquatches, Bigfoots?
He's on the Slim Jim rapper.
Oh my fucking god! Why was that the
He
first?
is on the Slim.
He makes his own soap.
You're not supposed to mess with him.
Apparently, he's a doctor.
Hey, yo.
It's called Dr. Squatch.
Listen, I actually really fucking love that soap. I use it. It's great.
Not sponsored by Dr. Squatch.
No, it's sponsored.
But
If you
wanna
like to
sponsor us,
sponsor us, yeah.
Leaving the options open here.
I mean, from what I've read is that Sasquatch is typically a 7 to 8 foot bipedal primate creature. Typically lives in the forest, and he is usually out twilight or during the dark or early in the morning.
Nuggies is taking my spot on the podcast. I'll just see myself out. He used the
Bye.
word bipedal, and I was like, all right, I'm leaving.
Listen,
can't
there's some
do that.
big words on here. I'm so lost.
Sorry, I was reading the title of my article over here.
You're gonna be like, sorry, I pulled the
Like cheated.
article up.
Yeah.
Flashback
Listen,
to
what-
the to the Mothman episode where we were going over vocabulary?
Yeah, all that is correct. I seen that he can even get as tall as 15 feet tall. Maybe that's different varieties of Sasquatch.
Do you say
there's a lot.
Like Yetis.
Do you
Yeah.
say Sasquatch or Bigfoot?
I think Sasquatch came first, and then Bigfoot became its more common name after the hoax back in the day. I can't remember its name. And then over in California, there was that made the Bigfoot name spread across the country because Sasquatch is a native name.
So Sasquatch is the term for him. Bigfoot is what he's called in the United States.
So once again, America just was like, we don't like that.
Because I thought it would be like, you know how the pop, the soda, the Coke,
Yeah, it's
like the different
Colloquial.
regions of the United States, how they would say it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I also feel like one's more derogatory. I feel like Bigfoot's like we don't like your kind, Bigfoot.
like a mean nickname.
Yeah.
Seems he's also called a stone
Um,
giant.
And
I have skunk ape.
Skunk ape is Florida. That's Florida's variety. Yetis are the Himalayans.
correct.
Yeah,
that's like,
Himalayans, Asia.
The Yowie.
Which one of you motherfuckers took Abominable?
That's
Snowman?
Australia.
Which fucking one of you?
What up, bro?
Not me.
Fight me.
Who's talking about it today?
Sup? I did.
Wow, what a motherfucker! What a
I too
motherfucker.
was upset about that one.
I even
Wow.
told Silver, I said, we will fight over this if we have to.
Listen.
The audacity. What?
So, I just had a core memory unlocked. The Yowie Yahoo episode of Scooby Doo.
Hmm.
Did you raise your hand?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Continuing on, the Sasquatches, a lot of people think they're only found US-wise over in the northwestern side of the US and Canada, but there have been sightings all over the place, and their fur or hair can be a variety of colors from light brown to jet black. Some even have like the Greco coloring to them. You guys know what the Greco birds are?
No.
They're like the black birds with like the blue shimmer to them when they're in the sun.
The oil slick ones.
Yeah, some of their fur can look like that. And if you spot their eyeballs, they glow. They have reflective eyeballs, kind of like crocodiles and deer, and that help them see better at night. Which is like Nuggy said,
They're like a yellow and red color.
their eyes.
Yeah, that they would glow to a yellow or red.
Mhm.
But it's not present in humans, as in like we can't see them. So it's more like,
We can see their glow. It was just humans and other primates don't have it.
yes,
Sasquatches are the only primates known to have the glowing eyeballs besides a couple species of lemurs, I believe.
And then Yetis typically have like that dark grayish as well, so they can blend in more with the snow.
The Gigantopithecus
Yes.
is comparable to the orangutan in fur and color and nature.
Orangutan?
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
Would you like to explain what Gigantopithecus is?
Why am I going first? I was just stating a fact. I didn't volunteer for any of this shit, Silver.
volunteers
Well,
as tribute.
You brought up
Listen, I think you
Gigantopithecus.
did.
Yeah,
so-
well, I mean, Super Mage down there just yeeted the Yeti and the Abominable Snowman, so I was like, well, let me grab my second choice, and that was my second choice, so I'm just, spitting facts. Why did you look at me?
Facts.
Why did you look at me like that when I said orangutan? For what reason?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm being judged.
It just confused me.
They are very comparable. You know what an orangutan is, right?
Yes.
Are
Orange.
you sure? Yeah, they're the large orange ape.
It's the redheaded
He-
ape of the world.
Yeah, he was okay, we're leaving that conversation behind. He was
That bird.
basically a did you just Songbird, if you hear this and Matthew puts this in the podcast, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was huge. He was basically just a giant fucking orangutan. He was 10 feet tall, 1,000 pounds. They became extinct like 100,000 years ago. And they died because the main source of food became like plants and roots and stuff like that because of the ice ages. And they just died out. And they just kind of, and like if you look at their modeling, their structure, their like appearance is what we would imagine Bigfoot now. So it's like the same structural base. Somebody at the University of Boulder, a scientist, studied the body sizes of thousands spanning 2 million years of fossil record. And I guess they kind of went extinct too because the bigger they got, the harder it was, or the less often it was that they had children or like, you know, other, or like reproduced.
Mhm.
And oh my God, there was a giant sloth. I want that. Can I that was
No, we don't want that.
the
Sigma sloth.
Gigantopithecus and the giant sloth no longer roam Earth because they were getting so high in size and so big in size that it was hard for them to stay fed, stay mating, stuff like that, and taking care of themselves. So it was just kind of like an evolutionary extinction. It wasn't like a hunting extinction or anything like that. It was just evolutionary. And they would have been warm-blooded, but I thought it was really neat because like the Yeti is what I had originally looked at, and these guys existed in the Ice Age.
Mhm.
So for being as big as they were and as like stand out as they would have been for their brownish orange fur would have been interesting to see in a huge world of ice.
So is Gigantopithecus the one is it the most closely related to humans?
Yeah, he's got
Isn't it like it's like one leap to get to people?
yeah. Yeah, I mean he would be like I'd say pretty close. Like he's I'll post this picture or this link in or whatever, but if you could put a human beard on an orangutan, that's what this looks like. Like no joke. Like I
Silver.
just okay. Well,
Wow.
I wasn't going for silver, but yeah.
Damn.
So
but-
Gigantopithecus. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so Gigantopithecus is the one fossilized version of a giant primate that we got, right?
Yes, and I think it is neat to take what we're saying because like the skunk ape and like the Gigantopithecus and stuff like that, Bigfoot is usually referenced as like a big hairy man, but they are very ape-like. Their long fingers, their long arm reach, the large leaps that they take, the big feet, very very ape-like.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, because even the arms reach down to the knees, which is a common Sasquatch description
Right.
when they're standing up.
Yeah.
Sasquatch sway.
He's a oh my God, Sasquatch swag. But yeah, he was very big. I was gonna ask Supermage, the articles you looked at, did you see the one about it was the two hikers in I think it was Tibet that found what they thought was the remains of one?
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, so these two guys thought that they found the remains of one, and it was a huge ordeal because like somebody found a Yeti. You know what I mean? It ended up being a rubber monkey suit. I just had to put that out there.
That's funny.
Wait, where did they find it? Did they find it just buried in the snow?
Yeah.
Like on a mountainside or something like that. Like it was, yeah. I have to look more into the actual situation at hand, but I just thought it was hilarious. It ended up being a rubber monkey suit. Like they really thought they stumbled upon a split in half abominable snowman, and it was indeed just a rubber suit.
Is it bad when I hear like the abominable snowman? I think of like Monsters Inc. when they get thrown into like the
He is my
snow.
favorite Yeti
Welcome
to
to
ever
the
exist.
Himalayas.
He's like, here's some lemon snow cones.
He references Bigfoot in that too. He goes,
Yeah.
check my buddy Bigfoot he made a diaper full of poison ivy. Called him King Itchy.
Gee.
No, I didn't see that story. I did see the story that I found was there wasn't a time frame for it, but it was back in like the Himalayan villages where villagers told stories of a Yeti that was abducting young girls at night, and they would like throw stones at the villagers and would like come in and like steal their yaks. And it was actually they claimed it to be a female Yeti because it had like large sagging breasts and it had like female traits. And then eventually there were stories of like it had been like domesticated and they actually had named it. So they called it Zana. Yeah, it was around like the 1800s. It bore children, and then eventually they found a Yeti corpse in a freezer, what they believed to be a Yeti corpse in 1968. And people don't talk about it because it's bad luck.
Like Bruno?
Basically, yeah.
We do not talk about Encanto here. Don't you do that. No.
Ouch.
And there's a lot of like Himalayan culture surrounding it, where it's like it's looked at as it's revered as like a bad thing. So like if you see the face of a yeti, it means you're dead. If you see their red eyes, it means you're dead.
The Mothman.
Basically.
Well, considering that reach, I would think you're dead either you see their eyes or not.
Right.
One backhand and I feel like you're flying.
Yeah, I heard even one story about one surviving a rifle blast to the chest. Then after it got stunned, it got back up and ran away. Then the sheriff that came out to take a look at it due to the call had all the evidence of the blood and stuff. But because he did not believe in Bigfoot, he threw all the bloody boards and stuff away before anybody got a chance to look at it.
What an asshole.
So I'm looking at the Yowie, which is the Australian version of Sasquatch. And from what you guys are describing to what I'm looking at, it's really weird. It says that it's known to be in the regions of like the Northern Territory, the Australian Capital Territory, South Australia, Western Australia, New South Wales, and Queensland. And it says the Yowie is usually described as a hairy and ape-like creature, standing upright between 6 foot 11 inches to 12 feet tall. The Yowie's feet are described to be as much larger as humans, but allegedly Yowie tracks are inconsistent in shape and toe number. So you could have like a really small foot with a bigger foot with like one toe in the middle of his foot and like one little pinky toe or something like that. And it says the Yowie's foot and footprints provided by the Yowie witnesses are more varied than those of Bigfoot. But the Yowie's nose is described to be pug-like, which is flat and wide. I just picture like a pug-shaped creature now. But it says behavioral, some reports of the Yowie as timid or shy. Others described as the Yowie as sometimes violent or aggressive.
Yes, you can raise your hand.
Yes, Mondi.
So, what I just heard was a pug, a Yowie? A Yowie's face looks like a pug. So is it safe to say a Yowie and a possum had a baby, and that's how we had pugs? Because possums have curly tails.
Just went to town on a possum.
Well, the picture on here, it is kind of like, I want to say a goat-like tail, which is like it's smooth underneath with hair on top, but it's not curly. But the feet pictures is really just inconsiderate of the sizes and shapes. So I guess that they might like shapeshift and form to different environment rugged abilityness from the different territories of the different territories of I almost said Africa, Australia. Sorry, Australia people who listen to this.
I'd have to look into the Yowie. Is it Yowie or Yowie?
It's the Yowie. It is Yowie.
Okay.
Yeah, the Yowie.
Yowie.
So I guess it's just a... What? Go ahead, Mondi.
Oh, I was just saying we just have baby Yowies now as pets. That's what a pug is.
They sound like that when they bark. We've had 3 of them before.
Sorry, Silver. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say with the whole environmental differences between the U.S., the Himalayas, Australia, the environment's so different. You can tell how they've adapted to each environment, whether it's the white fur, heavier coat, and then the U.S. is darker fur, browns, wood for the wooded area, and the Yowies is... I'm not really sure why they adapted to be different sized feet down there.
Probably more inconsistent terrain.
Lot of desert.
Yeah, a lot of desert, a lot of like shifting terrain. So smaller feet means smaller footprint. You don't have to. You're standing on less.
Maybe move a little quicker.
Is smaller feet like smaller footprint, like bigger animal, no lesser bones?
All right. Rude.
That was a shot towards Superman.
Yes, yes, we know. I did also see too. So, what was the size, chaotic, of the like American ones? Like you said the
American
Bigfoot?
Bigfoot?
The giant one,
Yeah.
he was 10 feet and like 1,000 pounds.
So the Yetis are estimated to be between 200 and 400 pounds.
Oh, damn.
So they shed a lot of their weight, and a lot of it, I think, is fur mostly.
I would imagine. I mean, especially with those conditions that they're under.
They have to stay light to walk on the snow and ice.
Well, they're constantly moving, I'd imagine.
That's kind of wild to think about, though. That how tall is the Yeti?
6 feet, about 6 foot averaging.
It's kind of wild to think that this huge ass gigantic motherfucker was like 10 feet, 1,000 pounds, living in the ice tundra, and the Yetis were like, "Let me simplify this."
You're like, we're gonna get smaller.
We're gonna get smaller, and we're just gonna be a little chunky with fur. It's fine.
Well, I would imagine too, like the Sasquatch and the Bigfoot in like the Americas, and I mean even the Australian, are very like with the Yowie, they have a lot more food source, whereas in like the Himalayan mountains and like the different Asian areas they're in, there's probably not a lot of food sources. So you said it's probably like roots and berries.
Yeah, they probably, and then when they do hunt, it's like at one large time. So it's probably like a big ass like moose or elk or something, and they just eat on that till it goes rotten or whatever.
What do you guys think of their hunting habits, maybe, or their group living habits? Do you guys think that they all live in a family group or hunt alone?
So, the only thing that I actually do know about this is they're very gross. They're very gross. Like they leave like balls of just like fur and matter and like just everywhere for like warmth and stuff all the time, and like as like trails. I just know that they're very gross beings. It would be mortifying to think of them in a group. I feel like they're more singular creatures, but that could just be me.
I wonder how often they would reproduce. Oh, sorry.
From what I've seen, they are solitary creatures. Usually, like, I've looked at a bunch of different sightings, and it's all one figure, the 7 to 8 foot tall figure. And so it's said that they're really solitary and they keep to themselves.
I have that they hunt livestock.
Like that story I was saying about the ones in the Himalayas where they hunted yaks from the village.
Mm-hmm.
So like Chaotic was saying, like one large kill at a time.
I heard one story today about a sheriff who reported to this one Bigfoot investigator his story when he was out hunting. He was out in his stand in the farm that he always hunts at, and there's those telephone line clearings.
Mm-hmm.
They have and he's seen the creature walking down, kind of swinging his arms back and forth, and then it stopped, went into the woods, and it was chasing a bunch of deer out. It was herding the deer into another patch of woods. Then the next thing he knew, he heard, as they described it, like that scene from Jurassic Park where the raptor grabs a guy, and it just sounded like the deer was being torn apart alive. So it was like the one chased deer into another one in order for it to grab the faster moving animal.
I feel like our giant footed creature man is fast as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen how fast a gorilla or an orangutan move on land?
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
I don't feel like they'd have to herd much. I don't feel like they'd have to work as a group to do that as much.
Well, a deer is pretty quick. Maybe it was a mating pair. Maybe they were in the middle of mating at the time. I
think of this the same way I think of like bears. Like bears only hunt with their own, so like they only hunt with their cubs or like with their mate. Because if I think of like 8 bears together hunting in a pack, I'm done. That's the extent of life.
From what I've read is that based on eyewitness sightings, they have registered Bigfoot in speeds of between 30 and 40 miles per hour, but some have them estimated as high as 60 miles per hour in a full swing.
Listen,
Would they run like a gorilla, or
absolutely
would they run on their like how we run?
I read in like a 4-foot stride, almost is like their stride length between.
That's literally one
it's
of
not
me.
as much. It's not as much that they're like super fast. They're just covering so much ground.
Right, they're a lot of leg.
Isn't that technically speed?
that is,
yeah,
that is.
You're right. That's fair.
I just looked up how fast a gorilla can run, and that is 25 miles an hour, and a white-tailed deer, like here in Ohio, is 30 miles an hour.
That deer better be tripping.
I've watched deer running as fast as they can. No.
I have shot and missed, and they are faster than me.
Speaking of Ohio, I was reading some statistics on sightings and the states that have the most sightings. Number 1 is Washington. Since the mid-90s, they've had 708 sightings in Washington. Number 2 was California at 459. Number 3 was Florida, the skunk ape that you were talking about, with 337. And number 4, of all places, Ohio.
Yep.
We have nothing better to do.
It's because, from what I heard, Ohio is because of how our terrain is and our temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got that glacier up north, which is spread,
yep.
And then it gets the mountains down below us, which is big and hilly and stuff. And Ohio is home to the biggest Bigfoot conference.
I was about to say, all over Ohio, there are different Bigfoot spots and statues and stuff where you can take pictures and post. Like, Bigfoot has his own Instagram here, so.
May 6th is the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, and there's usually well over thousands of people there with speakers and free. It's free to get in. You just need to get a ticket for the speakers.
We gotta go. All of us. Nuggies come to Ohio.
You aren't allowed to do shit until you go to Colossal Con, so you might as well just shut it. You're not allowed to go any other con.
I agree, Chaotic.
Monty,
you're big. You know what? When is the Mothman thing that we were gonna go to last year? When is that this year?
Let's see. This is May 6th.
I saw a billboard for it the other day.
Yeah, it's like later in the year.
September 16th and 17th.
Okay, so if you go to Colossal Con, I will take you to Mothman.
That's right around her wedding day.
That merry fucking marriage to Phil. I will take you to Mothman.
Honeymoon at Mothman Festival 2023.
No, Phil's not allowed to come. It is not a honeymoon. Unless it's my honeymoon with Ruby, because no, Phil's not allowed to come.
God.
We can go down and take your bachelorette pictures down there. Like, we can, it's fine.
You can get it with the Mothman.
Yeah.
Listen, he has some pretty cheeks on him. And I'm not talking about face cheeks either.
I know. So we're going to go and take pictures, but only if you go to Colossal Con.
Okay, when is Colossal Con?
Very beginning of June.
First weekend in June.
May 31st to June 3rd, I think. I was just looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you sighing?
I have
Excellent.
vacation to kill, so let me figure out my life with the costuming and we will go.
Okay.
Just put up.
You should probably plan the time off first.
Silver.
I went as a loot box one year.
The rest of us can still go to Bigfoot Con. Ruby's not allowed to go.
Okay.
Grounded.
You're grounded.
All the listeners has heard this.
But I was reading this article, and the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, which was founded in the mid-1990s, has received nearly 75,000 reports of Bigfoot sightings over the years, but only considers between 5,000 and 6,000 of those to be credible sightings.
That's still a lot that they believe to be credible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5,000 to 6,000.
I was reading how you were talking about Washington State. How is it Mount St. Helens that's up there?
Yep.
Okay. So that a couple of the people who are hiking up Mount St. Helens has seen sightings of Bigfoot, but they also possibly seen that he is cannibalistic. And even, what president is it? He wanted the state bird to be the turkey.
Oh.
You're talking about Teddy?
No, Ben Franklin wanted Ben Franklin wanted the national bird to be
You're
the
talking about Teddy
turkey.
Roosevelt?
That one. That one.
Oh,
He actually has wrote about it in his book about the sighting of, I almost said Mothman, the sighting of Bigfoot.
Yeah, he went out to because he was the one that opened all the national parks.
Yeah.
That was his like conservation effort for the country, and he went out and explored the area with like a bunch of conservationists, and they saw like a Bigfoot.
So do you guys think these Bigfoot sightings are all leftover Gigantopithecus that are really good at hiding?
They win at hide and seek, yes.
They win at hide and seek. Nah, I think they've like evolved for sure. So it might be related to it, but I don't think it's the same thing. Because like if it was, it's a little bit more believable if it's like, oh, this thing is 300 to 400 pounds and is 6 to 7 foot tall. Like that's believable. When you start talking like Chaotic was talking, where it's 10 feet tall and 1,000 pounds, like it's not concealable.
yeah. It's going to be hard to hide if you're 10 feet, 1,000 pounds.
Depending on how smart they are too, because they could learn to bury their dead and hide their grave markings. As since from what I've heard, they know how to make traps and stuff in the woods and throw rocks and communicate through different howls and screeches.
Speaking of whoever has the ominous winter whistling going on in the background,
Blondie.
yeah, the Yetis are known to make that noise.
Yes.
Very, very cool noise of theirs that they do. Because I know that the Bigfoot makes more of an ominous, like, scary sound. It's more like a howl or like a scream than anything else. But I think the Yetis were the ones that did, like, the whistling of the wind.
Well, not only that, they do like the whistling of the wind as a deterrent. And then there have been stories of like people that have died, like that have been attacked by Yetis. And this is a horrifying thing. They don't make any noise. They don't yell. They don't have like a scream or anything like that. They just kill you. Which I think that's more horrifying.
That is absolutely. Imagine just thinking that the wind's whistling behind you and you turn around, it's this big ass fucking. No, I'm good.
Monkey, red-eyed man.
And then all you hear as you're dying is
Crunch.
Or
sound effects
lemon snow cone
by Super Mage.
Tastes like chicken.
Oh, don't worry, it's lemon.
I'm leaving. The whole podcast is canceled. They both just said chicken and I'm out.
Can we talk about like the dietary habits?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Gross.
Like, because Nugs had mentioned that they were potentially like cannibalistic.
I think that was Ruby that mentioned that.
Sorry. Listen, there's a lot of people here. What do we think? Because you said before, Chaotic, that the Gigantopithecus was eating like berries and things, and was basically like an herbivore back then.
Well, that was why it was dying. It was because its food source fell out, and it had to eat roots and berries and stuff, and it didn't satiate them, so they were dying from starvation. It doesn't say what they ate, but I think it's safe to assume they used to run amok in the mountains in China and stuff, so they definitely were eating bigger game for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Omnivores.
Or people. They're not omnivores because clearly them veggies didn't do shit for them. Okay.
Do you think that their like teeth evolved with them over time? Because I was reading that there was actually cave paintings of quote unquote Bigfoot back in hundreds of years ago. I can't remember where they were located at, but there's like actual straight cave paintings of what Bigfoot would have been back then. So like he's not just this recent creature, it's actually shocking, like back in cavemen even had a Bigfoot. Or an extremely hairy, deformed.
Back in caveman times, I believe Gigantopithecus was around.
Okay.
Because that would have been around Ice Age, which I believe human Homo sapiens and Neanderthals were all a kind of around. And there's actually a new name out for the Bigfoots and Sasquatches now that I learned. I forgot to mention when we were talking about the name. They are called relic hominoids.
Relic hominoids.
Can you say that
Yeah.
again for me?
Homina.
Say it again.
Relic hominoids.
One more time.
My R's are not good. Relic
Relic hominoid.
hominoid.
Hemorrhoids.
Relic phenomenas. Do, 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 do. That's all I got out of that.
Phenomena.
I'm charging my attack.
I just had Dr. Pepper out my nose.
No one got that reference? No.
Oh, I see. I was laughing at you. I was just leaning back and muted.
So like I'm looking up teeth, like the chimpanzee teeth and like the ape teeth and things like that. Everything I'm seeing of like Bigfoot's teeth, they literally just look like human teeth, and like someone just took their canines and was like, let's just yank these down further.
I imagine so.
They're just a little
Vampires.
bigger.
Another random thing for the Bigfoot is he had his own little TV show. If anyone remembers that. It started in 2011 and ran for 12
You
seasons.
talk about Secret Saturdays?
No, but that guy was a Bigfoot, yes.
Isn't there
I'm
one
talking-
called Finding Bigfoot?
Yeah,
Yes, that was that- So, Finding Bigfoot was actually
I'm
started by
young.
the guy that runs the it's the same guy that runs the researchers organization that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I didn't realize it had 12 seasons.
Mhm.
Did they find
I
them
was like-
in 12 seasons?
I don't think
No.
they did.
All those like my favorite one of those shows is like the Ancient Alien show. That show ran for like 7 seasons, never had anything else about aliens. They were just like, this could have been made by aliens. Next episode, this also could have been made by aliens. That's it.
Not really on the Bigfoot topic, but did you guys hear they reclassified UFOs? They're no longer UFOs.
What are
Where
they?
are they?
UAPs.
UAP, that's right.
Yeah, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Phenomena.
Phenomena. Do, 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 do.
Phenomena.
We had to know it was coming. Everybody had to know that was happening.
It's funny you mentioned that because I just did my part 107, which is for drone licensing, and they mentioned UAPs in the drone test.
Nice.
Silver, if you get any ideas to get your drone license, I'm going to drive over there and slap you.
I don't have a big enough drone
No.
to need my license.
That is just one thing that we do not need here.
I have it because we use it for commercial work. Like
Yeah.
work.
Well, I think we cover. Do you guys got any media you want to talk about on Bigfoot?
There's a lot of media.
There's a lot of media.
We covered a lot of media.
They always depict like they always depict the Bigfoots in most media as like misunderstood. And I feel like it's almost similar to the unicorn where it's like maybe it is just a killer. Just a giant Bigfoot monster that kills things.
Talking about Yetis, there's a very popular cooler company that uses the Yeti name that I'm sure everybody has heard about.
Yes. The new adorable movie, Abominable Snowman. What was I fucking watching the other day?
Rudolph?
Probably that movie.
No.
Is it-
Oh, have you guys seen The Bad Guys? It's another animated movie.
I've seen bits and pieces of it on
Seen
TikTok.
commercials.
I'm pretty sure it's in that movie. It's called a Yeti ball or something like that. Like it's an iced over ball. But
Yeah.
the statue in it, the wolf walks in and he's like, "Who put the abominable snowman out here?" And the lady's like, "You can't say that. They don't like that name." So apparently abominable is not accepted via the Yetis.
So that was actually in Wednesday.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it was
that's
it
right.
was in Wednesday when they're at the dance.
Yeah,
When they're at the
because
dance.
because it was like something all white was their theme, and it was like
They had the big Yeti statue in the back by the
Yes.
DJ. Yeah, you're
that was
right.
covered in ice.
Listen,
You're right.
side note, that show, 10 out of 10.
What?
Very good.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, little chaotic.
Chaotic's kid.
Chaotic Jr.
No.
Square up, chaotic
Hashtag
kid.
little chaos.
Little chaos.
Low chaos.
What was the old commercial? I think I remember it was like the first time I ever saw Dr. Squatch. They ran like a YouTube commercial where it was like, it came on, was like, your soap smells like shit.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
Or the messing with Sasquatch commercials.
For
And
Jack Link's beef jerky.
Yes. And it was like they put his hand in like a thing of hot water or something like that, and he peed, and all you just hear is water like running down, and then he just goes and attacks the campers or whatever.
He like throws them against the wall.
Yeah. Silver, this is just the media portion that we remember.
This Sasquatches in commercials, and does Yeti coolers have any Yeti related commercials?
You know, Yeti is actually one of those very few brands that don't actually like run commercials and stuff very often because they do well just on their name brand. But I would assume they have some kind of advertising that respects the name.
I'm looking it up. A lot of their stuff is about like America and exploring and stuff like that.
So
that's what they did to find said Yeti.
The I guess the abominable snowman is a Yeti, correct? Like he is in that category. I mean, because there's a lot of films. Actually, there was a DreamWorks film back in 2019 called Abominable. Mm-hmm. It was an animated film.
I feel like it's very similar to like the Yeti Bigfoot or like Bigfoot Sasquatch situation. It's the same thing, just different named.
They're cousins.
They're cousins. I was seeing earlier, I think is it diarrhea is also the name they call it.
Diarrhea?
No, that's a condition.
Doritos.
That went from disgusting disorders with your bowels to eating a cheese-covered chip. I don't really understand. I mean, I guess they both start with D. Yeah. They'll give you diarrhea, perhaps.
The weirdest game of telephone.
Lactose intolerant.
This is why you are only allowed to have one guest at a time.
Oh. Another thing that took the Yeti name is microphones, like Super Mage has.
Oh, yeah.
No, mine's just blue.
You get the blue Yeti.
What?
Monty's got the blue snowball.
Hey, my boy, Blue.
I got a blue ball.
Blue.
You're married, so maybe.
Oof.
Not since your wife fucked out that kid. Oh.
That's it. I'm quoting chaotic. I'm leaving.
It's time to go.
Bye-bye.
Dramo. Sorry. The Himalayan creatures include like Dramo, which is a bear-like beast.
We were talking about this, Silver, on the way to that birthday party. I think it was another name for them. Was it the big heads?
Oh yeah, that's our area's own, is the big heads.
Yeah.
You can also get big Sasquatches and Yetis in D&D, which I have played with before, and my players murdered and made the Yetis abandon their children.
Don't you fucking say players. Don't you fucking say players. Songbird, if you're listening to this, that was your fault.
Wow.
I was not involved then, but I would have murdered the children probably.
I'm pretty sure I was listening to that D&D table conference not too long ago about that, and I'm pretty sure all of the everyone in that group was just staring at me the whole entire time because my face was just like in shock of what happened.
And like I said before, Secret Saturdays has the Bigfoot stuff. He's in the MetaZoo cards.
Him and Smokey the Bear.
Yeah.
Is Smokey the Bear a Sasquatch?
I think he's just a bear.
I mean, he's a bipedal bear, though.
How long
What does
his
bipedal
arms?
mean?
Two
Hands
legs.
on
It
two
means
legs.
two legs. They're saying two legs in the fanciest possible way, Ruby.
means
I'm
they
so
can pedal
sorry
a
they
bike.
did
Why
that to your
can't
brain.
you
It means-
say 2 legs?
They have no legs. It's just a bicycle down there.
It's a no pedal. Instead of
Wheels.
bipedal, it's a no
It's a no
pedal.
pedal.
It's actually
Oh,
it's a bear in a
unicycle.
wheelchair.
Before I mess up his name again.
It's bipedal.
Nuck
Oh, God.
La Vie. Nuck La Vie. It's pretty much that, but it's a bicycle down there instead of a skinless horse. That's what this bipedal thing is.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Stop it. Right now. Absolutely not.
We're
No.
creating our own horror monster now.
We're done. No. Nobody. That's
And-
nightmare fuel.
At this point, let's just go ahead and kind of kick it over to the Mayhem section, even though we've pretty much just been Mayhem 90% of this time.
There is no
been
mayhem section, and the
crazy.
entire podcast is mayhem.
There was straight up no, like, first, second, third. It was just like, bam.
This
Just
was a home
train
run
wreck.
hit.
Choo choo.
Because why would there be? Listen, train wrecks are fun to watch.
They're fun to listen to.
You ever watch compilations of car accidents? It's so much fun.
PTSD, no thank you.
Until
Super
you're,
Mage,
until you're in
Super
one of
Mage
the-
has unlocked some other horrors that we didn't plan on unlocking today.
Super Mage has a weird kink.
That's staying in here.
Get off the car accidents.
What are you doing, Step Squatch?
Stop! Illegal! No!
What are you doing, Stepfoot?
No, my mind went other
inhaler.
places than a Sasquatch with stepfoot because now I'm just picturing a stepsister or stepbrother with a prosthetic leg, and we just can't do that. Okay, so just stop it.
If Bigfoots ran in groups and came out of hiding, we think humans would make room for them out in
No.
the open?
No. Absolutely not.
I picture them in a business job, like suit, tie, going to work, just super hairy.
I think we would do what we do with all things that scare us, and we kill the shit out of them. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me exactly how I'm wrong.
Chaotix kid just goes, "Are you okay, Mom?"
I'm making faces. He's like, "Are you all right?"
Are you okay?
Listen, give that boy a cookie because he's caring about your well-being right now.
No, he's being nosy.
That's okay.
Hmm.
Nosy
They're the
Rosie.
same thing.
I feel like Bigfoots would definitely run amok if they hunted in packs and made it into a city or a town.
I mean, they're still hominoid.
Phenomena.
Phenomena.
I would imagine they're still.
Phenomenal.
Why did you turn into like what WWE interest music was that you just went to? Because that wasn't Phenomena anymore. What was that? Was that John Cena? You went straight to John Cena. We
It's
left
John C.
we
It's
left
Silver.
everything.
Oh, that's what Silver was up to.
I thought he was
Wow.
I don't think Bigfoots are immortal, but they might be super resistant. Like you would be like fighting a gorilla. So
You're gonna need a bigger bullet.
Yeah.
I have a question.
yes, Ruby.
Do you think Bigfoot could get rabies? This is
Yeah.
like
Can
the
humans
vet.
get rabies?
He's
I'm not a vet.
He's
Anyone
a-
can get rabies.
He's a mammal.
Possums can't get
Bigfoot-
rabies.
Yeah,
I mean-
possums can't get rabies.
Anyone else can get rabies.
Wait, opossums can't get rabies. I'm not sure about possums.
Get out.
Those
No.
opossums.
Possums Australian, opossums are USians.
I feel like if like a group of like 6 Sasquatches wandered into a city, they don't even have to kill anything. People are gonna look at them and go, "What the fuck is that?" And then they're gonna shoot them.
Or take
Unless they
pictures.
say one of
They
them's
already
like my great aunt Bess.
They're gonna take pictures and they're gonna kill them
Do you-
or capture them. Either way.
Like, do you think a shotgun could kill like a slug? Could that kill a Sasquatch?
I mean, it kills my shoulder.
He would. He would have to. He could take a few bullets, I would think.
I
It's
would
gonna
think
be a
probably a
couple.
few.
That's,
It would definitely have to be a shotgun, and it'd be a slug and not a rifle.
yeah, right. You'd have to have a slug round. It'd probably have to be right to the dome. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
If you hit it in the right place, it might drop with the first one.
Mhm.
But
In the foot.
yeah,
Then
its
he's
only
falling.
weakness,
if you use
it's
like
like
an-
Achilles.
Yeah. If you use like a
Really good
9 mil,
Sasquatch
it's gonna
one.
shoot. It just
And he
Let's
took
go
a
back
slug
up.
to the
No.
knee.
How
was
I
a
scraped
great
my
adventurer.
knee.
A 9 mil would be a mosquito bite to a Sasquatch.
it's just
I was
catching
gonna
with his
guess-
teeth.
22 is a butterfly.
Bee stings little.
To all of our UK listeners, this is what it is like in America.
How do we murder
Sorry.
the Sasquatch?
We are sorry.
The Sasquatch is either gonna end up dead or on TikTok. It's gonna
Do
be
you
one of
think a
those two.
Sasquatch would be edible? Like how some people eat deer versus
I think it probably tastes like,
Chicken?
It could,
I don't know. It'd probably be
It probably
better
tastes
than
like bear.
unicorns.
would it be like made into like a jerky type
Squatch jerky.
I don't think I'd eat it.
Squatch jerky?
It'd probably be like I'd imagine like bear, where it's
Mhm.
like super gamey
Yeah,
because it's just running around hunting all the time.
yeah.
And I
It
imagine
tastes
it's
like
probably
people.
super fatty.
Mm,
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's probably more lean because they're walking.
Would we be considered carnivores then if we ate Sasquatch? If Sasquatch is our missing link?
We'd
Stop
be
it.
carnivores because we're eating meat.
You mean
We would
cannibals?
we were proposing as cannibals.
That's the word. What'd I
Carnivores
say?
is carnivores will eat meat.
Words are not my strong suit.
And technically, carnivores only eat meat.
This is my redemption arc
That's-
from Anubis. So my
That's
wife
the
quits
entire
criticizing.
podcast, Mondi. It's none of us can speak. I don't even know why we do a verbal podcast, if I'm honest, because we can't pronounce, speak, form sentences for shit. So it's
Phenomena.
fine. You belong here. Phenomena. Do 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 do.
I still get
Let's see
made
if
fun
we-
of by my wife from the Anubis episode.
So if you made sausage out of a Sasquatch, would it be called Sasquatchage?
yeah.
I hated that. I just need you to know from the
Sasquatch.
heart. I hated that.
Sassy links.
Field Squatch.
What about Yeety dogs?
Yeah.
Eaty dogs for you.
Yeah, Yeety dogs.
I am gonna take a page out of the chaotic book and leave now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm leaving.
If you cut off his balls, are they technically big balls?
On
Yeah,
that
we
note,
brownies.
I'm out.
Everybody's leaving. Everybody's taking turns being chaotic tonight.
I imagine those would
Everybody's
probably
taking
just
turns
like.
being chaotic.
I imagine those. It would be just like makeshift baseballs.
Are they, wait, hold on. I got one that'll kill y'all. Would they be called big balls or footballs?
Why?
God.
My brain can't hurt no more.
Mondi is
Hey.
just like tapping out.
Anyways, we'll just move on from that comment.
Moving on
Is
from the
there-
entire podcast. We're
Is
done.
there any other mayhem you guys would like to talk about?
I think we've covered plenty of mayhem.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think we've ran down that list pretty quickly.
Well, I guess we'll just start wrapping up the recording and everything.
I couldn't hear what Chaotic said, but I know it was not good.
Oh, I told him that he needed to stay out of my screen when he's all naked mole rat over here. I was like, please, sir.
I think the tone you just told us was a lot nicer.
No, it was the same. I just had I was like, I really need you to stay out of my screen with your shirt off. And he was like, literally his face planted on the floor right now. He was like, is that good? I was like, sure, bro.
Sasquatch with alopecia.
I'm
Oh
not.
my god.
Oh,
Hold on.
Major
Look at
alopecia.
you.
Hold
What?
on. I just thought of
her
this.
sister was a
What?
witch.
I just thought of this.
And what was her sister?
A Bigfoot.
What?
What if we're just all Sasquatch with alopecia? Like a rare form of alopecia
Bro,
that we
you
just
4 foot, you like 4'5". You ain't no Bigfoot.
You ain't no Bigfoot.
Stop
She's little.
But she's
see-
closer to like 3'2".
One.
Listen, I will drive over to y'all's houses and beat you.
She's
But
just,
I'm being
just a
serious.
baby Bigfoot. That's it.
Yeah.
Baby
But-
Bigfoot with little mansion.
I'm being serious though. Like, what if we were all a form of Bigfoots? Either I'm mini, dwarf, however you want it, but we all had a rare form of alopecia.
Part of the alphabet.
There's 3.
Brian,
Well,
stop.
I mean,
Alopecia means loss of hair.
Are we back? Are we back to the alphabet?
No, alopecia is hair
A, B,
loss.
Alopecia, M-O-P-Q-R-S-T-U-V.
W.
Oh,
Hex
editing
Y.
this is going to be a treat. It's
Just leave it
I had to
straight
stay
cut.
silent.
Just pure.
But to answer your question, no. That would be. Are we at 8 billion people now in the world, or are we still? Is still 7?
I
That's-
haven't
that's-
procreated, so
I think we're at 8.
How much
that's
did
a-
COVID cleanse?
Oh,
COVID.
And plus, too, there's like, obviously not to get too into like the religion part, but like whichever side you're going on, if it's evolution or creationism, people existed before they started identifying like that Gigantopithecus,
right.
and they existed at the same time. So it was like evolutionarily, you usually don't have two of the same thing evolutionarily.
So no, I don't think we would be Bigfoots with alopecia, eliminopia.
You just said two of the same
PQS
kind, and
Ramsey.
I just pictured the Noah's Ark with the two animals.
Oh.
There was dinosaurs.
The two Bigfoot.
Yeah. Two Bigfoot, two Mothman.
Oh,
Two unicorns.
so if you have 2 Sasquatches, would they be called Big Feet instead of Bigfoot?
More like mooses and mises.
Yeah, like moose.
Octopi and
Would it be
octopus.
two Bigfoot or 1 or 2 Big Feet?
Silver's just having it.
No, he's pondering the thought.
He's thinking.
Somebody
know-
needs to think.
if you captured a bunch of Bigfoot, and they get loose, you could say it turned into Footloose.
Everybody cut Footloose.
I love that
it's done.
movie.
Nick's face.
I checked back into this conversation and Footloose is being sang, so I wasn't entirely sure how to take that.
Square up Chaotix kid.
He's squaring up.
Is it time for the outro?
Yep. Okay, everybody. Thanks for listening. Well, thank you to all of our patrons who are here right now causing the mayhem.
Choo choo!
If you each just want to say your name in whatever order you want to go.
Super
Nuggets?
Mage.
Oh,
No, God. Abort mission.
Mondi. Yee!
Go home.
Nuggets. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna rock, paper, scissors you.
Ruby, I think you're the one that hasn't said anything.
You're the last one, bro.
No, it's not. It ain't.
Yeah.
Your last
Yes,
one.
you
No.
already went.
You're the last one.
And Ruby.
If you want to go chaotic.
Those are all of our
She checked out a long time ago.
patrons. I thank you guys for supporting the show. Chaotic. How's that outro coming?
Stop. That's a sensitive
Great.
subject to her.
It's
let's hear
a
it.
sensitive sub. Fuck off.
Outro in person. Let's hear it.
Everyone stare at
This
her.
has been the monsters missing this has been the monsters missing this has been the Monsters Myths and Mayhem podcast. I officially hate it here. I quit. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify. Yep, you can find us all kinds of places.
And the new Phenomena podcast.
I would intro our Patreons, but I think after this, I don't think they need an intro anymore. So, GG's, leave a review It's a good time. This is the last time you'll ever hear me. Enjoy yourself. Phenomena.
Oh, hardcore bullshit. Ooh.
Oh no!
If you guys want to talk to any of us, any of the patrons, please just go ahead, join our Discord. The link's in the description below. Yeah, they're all in there. We're in there. We're usually all on Chaotic Stream.
Oh yeah. We've been quoting Chaotic Stream all throughout the night. Because we
Agreed.
just love her so much.
Thank you guys for the 1 year anniversary, Chaos. We gotta figure out what season 2 is gonna bring, which it's still
More
gonna
chaos.
be next week after this. So
All the chaos.
More chaos.
Chaos! Woo!
Not the cork pop.
your wife is gonna come in and smack you.
Listen,
I miss it.
do it.
All the chaos.
You're gonna wake up
Baby's
your
not dead
baby.
yet. She's not dead yet.
I was gonna say, I don't think he cares much about his wife
All
being
right.
mad.
On 3, let's all yell roll the music, okay?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Like on like 1, 2,
On
3,
or
or
like go.
I'm assuming when we hear 3, we yell roll the music.
When you hear 3, then you say it. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Music.
1, 2, 3.
Roll
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 the
the
music.
music.
We suck. Nobody was in sync. Okay, one more time. Everybody ready?
Yeah, count.
1, 2, 3.
Roll the
Roll the
music.
music.
That was much better. I'll take that. That was much better.
It's like the Mayhem.
and sync a
thing.
band.
What did you just say?
Ain't no, that's a baby pop pop.
Are we gonna talk about how Chaotic owes next Necrophy? The
What?
A
You
knuckle
said
of E?
2 words that
Here.
didn't make sense.
A knuckle of E? Because
There.
what
There you go.
did you just say to me?
My
I
bad,
heard
guys, it all.
necropsy.
I am not owing her any kind of necrophilia. I don't know where you learned that, Ryan, but don't tell people that.
my words don't work.